techniques, you will be able to compress the spring, therefore you will have space to take the bolt out. Now we got this out. If you need to replace the upper ball joint, you will need to replace the control arm as well, the upper one. And this one right here is the guy we are gonna be working on today, because the upper ball joint is embedded in the upper control arm and there is no other way of doing it. So you have to replace the upper control arm. By the end of this video, you will learn how to safely remove the upper ball joint / control arm on any Chevy GM truck. But not only that, we are gonna be doing this car repair as simple as possible without removing too many parts, especially the spring. I have seen some people removing the spring, but I will show you a cool trick to replace the upper control arm without removing the spring. This is, by the way, not a 4x4, but the process should be similar on those. Make sure to watch the entire video because I'm gonna be sharing some useful tips along the way. This one right here is the line for the ABS sensor and we want to remove it because we don't want to put any stress on it. It is held in place to the control arm by a 10mm bolt that we are gonna be removing. Also keep in mind that the brake line is still connected and we don't want to put stress on it as well, so that way we avoid any damages. Just keep that in mind and we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and disconnect this cable right here. Again, this is just to avoid any stress to that cable. We don't want to damage it. And as you can see, that purple tab that it has, we do have to pull it or push it and then we will be able to disconnect it safely. 18mm socket. After I got that cable out of the way and safe, we are gonna go ahead and remove the upper bolt joint nut, and this nut is an 18mm size and we're gonna go ahead and take care of that right now. Now get any Sharpie that you have available and make a mark right here where you see this pin. The reason for this mark is to keep as close as possible to the original alignment that we already have in this truck. We don't want to mess with it that much. And this is why it is recommended to do an alignment after messing with the upper control arm. You should have a total of 4 on each side of the car. Make sure you mark all of them. The upper ball joint might be a bit stuck in the knuckle. There are some ways of getting this loose. You can tap on it, you can also put the nut on the ball joint and then gently tap on it and that way it would pop loose. But if you have one of these tools that I will be showing and I will be using in this video, I will strongly recommend that you use it. This one is a ball joint separator and this thing is amazing. It will make this job super easy and simple. You see this clip right here. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it so that way we will give more freedom to the cable. Again, we don't want to damage it. 21mm back here and a 21mm socket to lose this bolt right here. When replacing the upper control arm or upper ball joint, using a power tool will make the job a lot easier and it will speed up the process. But I will be showing you how to do it with regular and simple tools that anyone has available. Be careful when putting back these bolts because they have a specific torque and we are gonna be talking about that torque in just a moment. Here is another important detail when replacing the upper control arm. You will have 2 bolts, one to the right and one to the left. Keep everything in that very same order and do not mix them. The spring is in the way and it's not letting me get that bolt out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower my jack and I'm gonna use this to put some pressure on the lower control arm so that way we'll push it up so that we'll be able to move to take that bolt out of the way by doing that. Let's go and see how that works. By doing these techniques, you will be able to compress the spring, therefore you will have a space to take the bolt out. But keep in mind and be extremely careful, you don't want to let go on that jack all the way down, otherwise you will have a problem. And as you can see, that worked. Perfect. Now we got this out. Make sure you place it on that mark that we made before. Same thing with this one. That's the mark that we did before. We want to match that. Something like that. You see how this one is cleaner? That's because that's the one that was inside. Let's do the other side. Okay, so now this spring is on the way. We gotta do the same thing. We gotta move it a little bit. Got to lift it just a little bit. Much better. Now we want to set this parallel to the floor. The reason why we want to set this parallel to the ground is because that will be its natural position, the resting position once everything is back in place, and that way we will avoid any stress to the bushings and therefore we can extend its life. Now I'm gonna use a torque wrench, 140 foot-pound, 21 millimeter. In case this is pinned, you're gonna use 21 millimeter wrench on the back. It took time recording and editing this video. If you're getting any value from this content, please consider subscribing and liking. Next. $18 millimeters, 37 foot-pound. When placing the cotter pin, keep in mind that you want to always tighten a little bit if it's not aligned. If it's not aligned, tighten a little bit more the knot until the hole is aligned. Never lose the bolt to get that pin aligned with the hole. You always want to tighten a little bit more, but never lose it. If the new bolt joint came with a service pin, make sure to install it and add some grease to it. At this point we are almost done with the installation. We are making sure everything is back in place and connected. As you can see, I'm reconnecting this cable and I'm gonna go ahead and connect it right in here. Then we're gonna secure it to the control arm, and this part right here, as you can see, it has a groove inside. You want to make sure that you align the tab with the groove so that way it will stay in place and no movement is gonna take it out of that place where it is and where it is supposed to be, so that way the cable is safe. Remember, we want to keep this secure so that way we don't have any surprises down the road. And just like that, we have replaced the upper control arm / ball joint on your Chevy or GM truck. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.